Alon, Wasalan, you with the nasty past, and we're back with another reading from Ramses, Volume 1, Series 1, The Son of Light. We're entering a new chapter this week, and the chapter is 22. I did a little proof glance, and I read, and I'm not gonna waste time on the intro when I can get through the whole chapter. Let's roll. The army's return was marked with celebrations. The palace had anxiously followed dispatches from the front. The Lebanese rebels held out only a few days, after which they swore eternal allegiance to Egypt and pledged to the Pharaoh's faithful subjects in return for his lenience. Seti had demanded a large quantity of top-grade cedar to raise new masts in front of temples and build several sacred barks for ceremonial use. The princess of Lebanon unanimously proclaimed that Pharaoh was the incarnation of Ra, the divine light who gave them life. Let's pause right there. For those of you that don't know where Lebanon at, you know, in my head, I'm figuring Lebanon is in the Middle East, but what I'm gonna do is make sure what that I'm right, you know, in my speech, you know, in my words. And Lebanon, well, it's West Asia, you know what I mean? So we talking about the other side of Europe. You get what I'm saying? So Lebanon is a country located in the Levant region of West Asia. It is bordered by the Mediterranean Sea to the west, Syria to the north, and east and Israel to the south. Officially known as a Lebanese republic, it is part of the Middle East. Well, come on. I wasn't but so wrong, right? I wasn't but so wrong. It is part of the Middle East. So one thing I want to say to you again, you know, our biggest failure in this culture of ours that I'm understanding that our ancestors made was becoming allies to countries of how to say this, you know what I mean? I must say you was jealous. I must say that you became allies to receive information of how to conquer, how to enter, information of how to civilize your people. You know, I said this to you a long time ago, you know what I mean? Not just in this reading, but on some of my posts, on some of my main accounts, not this platform. You know, I've said to you, every culture that exists under this sun came in ancient Africa, came in ancient Egypt, Upper Africa, Kemet, to try to conquer, to try to war with us. Every culture. There's not a culture that did not try. A lot failed. One really succeeded. You feel what I'm saying? One really succeeded, and that was the Greeks. But see, the Greeks had united themselves with with every culture. You feel what I'm saying? Every other culture, and they, you know, what they learned from Cleopatra. Come on, man. They was already in there. You get what I'm saying? Cleopatra had a baby by Romans. Romans and Greeks are almost the same to me. You get what I'm saying? It's like tomato. You feel what I'm saying? So there was already an heir to that throne. You get what I'm saying? That is a Greek or a Roman, a European. Let me put it that way. There was already an heir to that throne that was a European. And once, what that man name? King Caesar, Mark Antony learned all they could learn. Come on, man. Come on. They pass that down, 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 down. And see, one thing you must understand, your grandkids not going to think how you think. Your grandkids may think how you think and rule how you rule. But things change. You feel what I'm saying? Things change. Because he had moved so swiftly, Seti was able to enter Syria without encountering resistance. The Hittite king, Muwatalli, had not had time to muster troops and decided to observe things from a distance. Unprepared for a siege, the walled city of Kadesh, symbol of Hittite power, had opened its gates to the Egyptian forces. Seti, to his general surprise, had settled for placing a stela in the heart of Kadesh instead of raising the fortress. The military was quick to second guess this unconventional tactic that speculated about its long-range consequences. As soon as the Egyptian army was out of sight, Muwatalli dispatched a large contingent and regained control of Kadesh. Then came negotiations to avoid a bloody confrontation. The two sovereigns agreed through their ambassadors that the Hittites would stop inciting unrest in Lebanon, and the Phoenician ports and Egypt would refrain from attacking Kadesh or its surrounding territory. Peace was concluded. Precarious to be sure, but still peace. See, that's what I loved about Seti. Seti showed me in Exodus that he's a rational thinking man, and that's where Moses got it from. I don't know what happened to Ramses. I don't understand how the blood, you give me the direct blood don't get to be rational. The direct blood don't get to, everything is not about death. Everything is not about punishment. You get what I'm saying? Seti was very rational. Seti at that time, you know what I mean, in his older age, had really understood some things of life that he was setting straight with whom we pray. It don't matter that he was praying to Ra. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter he was praying to Ra. There was a divine change in who he was when he took the throne as to when he's entering out of life. A physical life, let me put it that way. As heir apparent and now as commander, Shinar presided at a banquet for more than 1,000 people, offering the finest food, vintage wine from year 2 of Seti's reign, and the stirring spectacle of naked young girls who danced to the music of flute and harp. The king made only a brief appearance, led his elder son back in the glory of a successful mission. As Cap alumni on the rise, Moses and Amunah had been invited. So had Seti, decked out in a sparkling robe lent by Ramses. Amunah, single-minded as ever, mixed with Memphis city fathers, steering the conversation toward recent factory closings. Despite his persistence, he learned nothing new. Seti had hustled away by Shinar's head steward. A snake was loose in the milk locker. Seti found a likely chink in the wall, stuffed heads of garlic inside the plug, and plugged it with a dead fish. The poor creature would never come out again. The steward's relief was short-lived since Seti had taken an instant dislike to him. When he accidentally freed a red and white reptile with fangs set deep in the upper jaw, Shinar's assistant took off like a rabbit. Moron, thought Seti. Anyone can see this species is perfectly harmless. Moses, attractive and mainly, was surrounded by young women as usual. Most of them wished they could talk to Ramses, but Aset was guarding him jealously. The group of classmates were making a fine reputation for themselves. Now let's, for those of you that have followed this reading, you get how they just so open now. Shinar must have told her, go on about your business, but you understand there is not a lot of information about the movements, the ways of Shinar and I set the fair. You feel what I'm saying? Now they're out in a function and I set the fair. Ramses just carrying on, right? Young Ramses is just carrying on, right? Cool. But Aset was guarding him jealously. The group of classmates were making a fine reputation for themselves. Moses seemed destined for an important administrative position, and Ramses' courage would win him a command in the army. Since there was no place for him at court, the two friends slipped out between dances and met in the garden beneath a persea tree. Did you hear Shinar's speech? Asked Moses. No, Aset wasn't interested. Your older brother openly proclaims himself the true victor in this campaign. Thanks to him, Egyptian losses were kept to a minimum and diplomacy, not warfare, won the day. Moreover, he insinuates that Seti is growing older, worn out by his responsibilities, and should soon be ready to appoint a regent. Shinar has already outlined his program: pro-trade, anti-war, economic cooperation with Egypt's worst enemies. He's disgusting, not an appealing character, I grant you, but his plans do merit consideration. Reach out a hand to the Hittites, Moses, and they'll cut off your arm. Come on now. Come on. Come on. But the Nubians went and got the Hittites to control, to help conquer. You get what I'm saying? The Nubians, the bottom part of Africa, and like I said before, I wouldn't call the whole continent Kemet. To be honest with you, I don't want to call it Africa any way, but you understand what I'm saying? How they went outside the continent to get some help to take over the throne. You get it? And I have explained to you what a pharaoh is. See, a pharaoh is presented. The title is presented when the country is not divided. When the country is divided, you're just a king. That's all you are, a king. War is no solution. Shinar will leave Egypt a second-rate, bankrupt power. The land of the pharaohs is in a class by itself. When we let our guard down, the Asian invaders came. Come on. There you go. The Asian invaders came. Now we know Alexander the Great. We know, let me make sure I'm in the right spot. We know Alexander the Great, which is a Greek, and we're just going to say Europeans because by the time Alexander the Great conquered all the continent, every country in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East was combined and joined under Alexander the Great's rule. So we're going to say Europe. Now we're going to say Asia. Now we know if you really follow me, then you are over there. OFM, Enoch built the pyramids of Giza. And I've explained to you, King Sadi was from where? The Middle East. You get what I'm saying? Where? The Middle East. You get it? You understand me? When I tell you every culture was threatened by the knowledge, the wisdom we possessed, they just wanted to come take it. And we have open out. We built a library. Alexander the Great he wasn't the person that put that big library right there. We had already built a library of wisdom that was open to the world to come receive the knowledge that we had grown to learn. You get me? Had grown to learn. Where we at? Where we at? Come on, man. Don't do this to me. Where we at? Okay, here we go. If we lower our defenses, we'll be exterminated. Ramses' vehemence surprised his friend, spoken like a leader. I admit, but is that the right direction? the only one that will keep our territory intact and protect the home of the gods. The gods. Do the gods exist? What do you mean? Before he had time to reply, a flock of birds surrounded him and Ramses asking all sorts of questions about their future plans. Aset promptly came to her lover's rescue. Your brothers conjured me. She confessed. What did he want? He still thinks I should marry him. Ask anyone at court. He says anyone close to the government. It won't be long before Seti names him as regent. I can be the great royal wife, he tells me. A strange sensation washed over Ramses. He was suddenly transported to Murrah, contemplating a serious young girl as she copied out Pita Hotep's maxims by lamplight. I said the fair was alarmed by the look on his face. Are you ill? You know very well you know very well that I've never been sick in my life. You seem so far away. I was thinking, so did you accept his proposal? I've given my answer. Congratulations, you'll be my queen. I'll be your humble servant. She pummeled his chest. He grabs her wrist. I love you, Ramses. I want to spend my life with you. How can I make you understand that? Before I can become a husband and father, I need a clearer vision of my future. Give me time, I said. In the fragrant night, silence was slowly gathering. The musicians and dancers had left, along with the older courtiers here and there in the vast palace gardens. Information was being exchanged and sorry plots hatched. Classic Memphis one-upmanship. Hold up. Yeah, upmanship. From the kitchens, a cry shattered the quiet. Ramses was first on the scene. He found Shanaz's head steward, armed with a poker, beating a cringing old servant. The prince put the attacker in a strange hold. When he dropped his weapon, the old man fled, huddling behind the other dishwashers. Moses ran in. Stop, Ramses. You will kill him. The prince loosened his hold. The steward, red-faced, choked and gasped for breath. That old man is only a Hittite prisoner. He said hoarsely, he has to be taught to follow orders. Is that how you treat your workers? Only Hittites. Shanaz, so richly attired, he outdid his most elegant guests, dispersed the crowd now gathering in the kitchen. Move along now, I'll take care of this. I must say this to you straight up, you know what I mean? The actions now shows me that the throne at that time of our ancestors was already tainted. You got a brother that hates you. You got a brother that one already tried to kill you a while back ago. You understand me? So if the story of Ramses II getting on the throne lies in a place of history where Shinar was outed, the chance of being the heir of Kemet of ancient Egypt, of Upper Africa, then his rule had been tainted from the jump, from his past. He was never going to succeed anyway. It was never going to be successful for him. Ramses grabbed the steward by the hair and shoved him to the floor. I accuse the coward of torture. Come, dear brother, don't get carried away. My steward can be a bit strict, but after all, I'll bring charges to testify in court. And I thought you hated Hittites. The old man is no threat to us. He's a palace servant and deserves fair treatment according the law of Mott. No speeches, please. Let it drop, and I'll owe you a favor. I'll testify too, declared Moses. We don't need your bargains. Let's not let things get out of hand, soothed Shinar. Take the steward, Ramses told Moses, and hand him over to our friend Satar. Tomorrow I'll request a special hearing. That's illegal confinement. Do you plan to appear in court with your steward? Shinar caved in. Too many reliable witnesses. Better not be involved in this losing battle. The steward would merely be sentenced to exile in a desert oasis. I won't stand in the way of justice, he concluded blissfully. Justice for all, Ramses countered. That's what I meant. His Shinar. If this is how you plan to govern the country, I'll lead the opposition. You're blowing this out of proportion. I'm stating facts. Complete disregard for others is apparently part of your grand design. That's going too far, Ramses. You owe me respect. I owe respect to the Lord of the two lands. Still Seti, the last I heard. Go ahead, mock me while you have the chance. Tomorrow you'll have to obey me. Tomorrow is a long way off. That leaves you time to hang yourself with your own rope. Are you planning to treat me like a Hittite prisoner? Exasperated, Shinar stomped off. Your brother is a dangerous man, observed Moses. Do you really need to challenge him like that? I'm not afraid of him. Now explain what you meant by asking me if the gods exist. I have no idea. All I know is that strange thoughts run through my mind and tear me apart until I can figure out what they mean. I'll have no peace. That's the end of this chapter 2 reading. What did you really, what have you really understood about this part of this chapter? We got Moses in it. We got Aset the Fair in it. We got Seti in it. We got young Ramses in it. Amanah, Satar. Mostly every character, every ancestor that has been in the previous chapters are all right here with Besufatua. For real. Besufatua. And I'm going to say, it shows to me, when I get back to the relationship of Shinar and Ramses, that even back then, ignorance played a big part in the movement, in the actions of our ancestors. I never understood why a brother could want another brother's woman. I never could understand that. I really couldn't. I could never understand anything that one brother have that the other brother is so jealous of, to fight, steal, kill for. You get it? I don't understand the story of Cain and Abel. I really don't. Them two brothers. I really don't understand the story of Osiris and Seth. I don't. There are two brothers. You understand me? Two brothers. I don't get it. I don't get the jealousy. I do not get it. What I do get and what I do understand to the fullest point of the law to the law of whom we pray, of the wickedness within evil, is that you're not supposed to give in to the 6 deadly sins. You give me, jealousy is one of them. You're not supposed to give in to jealousy. You are supposed to love your brother, and your brother's supposed to love you back. You get me? That woman is there to put a division between y'all two. You get it? You get it? There's a saying that goes like this: 2 minds are better than one. I sit back and I'm gonna say this to you once again. If me and my brother at a young age, I don't care what we would have ventured into, because it shows me when we was doing these paper routes, and I believe we had 2 of them at one time. We was kids. I was in elementary school. You get me? Elementary school. I wasn't in middle school. I know I was in elementary school. I know I was going to Gillum Park. And my brother probably was in middle school. You get what I'm saying? But my mama signed off to us delivering these papers. We went from one paper route to two paper routes. And now one of us, on the mornings we had to get up and deliver these papers, cried about not going. We both got up, rain, man, look, we put ponchos on, wrapped the papers up in plastic, got it done. You understand me? So what that tells me right there, it was shown that, hey, man, this man can be successful together. All we got to do is put our minds together. It went from us having a news leader, a Richmond Times Dispatch cloth bag that we put our papers in and our payment book in to us getting a basket. My brother pushed me in the basket with all the papers while we getting up there to the area we have to deliver papers. I'm rolling them up, putting the rubber band on them. You get me? But what my point is this right here. I don't care what is it that me and him would have ventured off into. If we would have did it together. Come on, man. Come on. Anyway, you've been with the Nasty Pastor. This has been another chapter read from Ramses. And next week, we'll be diving into chapter 23. I'm out and a lady.